Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Hope that you are doing well. Okay, so today we will continue still under chapter 2, Principles and Concept of Value. But today we will focus on types of value. Okay, so these types of value actually by referring to the Malaysian Valuation Standards, okay, MBS, whereby there are several value that will be determined, okay, and this is based on standard 5 of Malaysian valuation standards, okay. So if anybody that have that book, so you can look into your books, okay, to counter checks, okay, or to put some notes inside that, okay. Okay, so first we're gonna learn on market value, the definition of market value. Okay, so actually market value is estimated amount for which a property should an exchange on the date of valuation, okay, between a willing buyer and willing seller in an arm's length transaction after proper marketing, wherein the parties had each act knowledgeably, prudently, and without compulsion. So here, the market value bermaksud okay, estimated amount. So anggaran sesuatu amount untuk sesuatu property yang berlakunya exchange, okay, pada tarikh nilaian on the date of valuation di antara pembeli dan juga penjual yang tidak mempunyai sebarang kaitan, okay, selepas berlakunya proper marketing, di mana kedua-dua pihak ini adalah betul-betul knowledge, kan, tahu, faham dengan jual beli tersebut ataupun transaction tersebut dan tiada sebarang paksaan. Itu maksud dia market value. Okey, sekiranya penjualan ataupun transaction between buyer and seller dia ada kaitan, okay, there is a relationship between them. So the market value will not exist. Alright. Okay. So this is the definition of market value. So next we look on the rental value. So it's almost similar, but this one is more towards interest. Okay, because of when we talk about rental, so the tenants, okay, will not have the tangible properties. Okay. Okay, so they just will receive the interest, okay, interest towards the property. So it is estimated amount of rental for which an interest in real property on the valuation date between a willing lessor and a willing lessee di antara penyewa dan juga pemberi sewa, okay, dalam on appropriate list term. Okay, appropriate list term means that dalam um, tempoh sewaan yang sesuai, okay, in arm's length transactions after proper marketing wherein the parties had each act knowledgeably, prudently, and without compulsion. Means that there is nor all both parties nor about that tenancies, and also there is no compulsion, tidak ada paksaan between them. Right? So that's market value and rental value. Okay, so value in use. So value in use basically is the value of specific asset for a specific use to a specific user and non-market related. So value in use commonly is about, it's not about the asset itself, but the value because of the functions, okay, or the use of the assets. That's why the definition, if you can see here, it is the value of specific asset for a specific use, okay, and to a specific user and non-market related, okay, whereby all right, so certain assets, it could be give a different value to others, okay, in terms of the use itself. So it depends to a specific user. That's why it's mentioned here. It depends on the specific user. Okay. Okay, so next is investment value. Okay, so which is the value, okay, of an asset, okay, to a particular investor to identify their investment objectives, okay, may be lower or higher than its market value. So investment value, basically the value of an asset, okay, on the opinions of investors, okay, so it depends for the investors, okay, whereby the investors itself, they will look on their investment objectives. Okay, so what is the objective for investments? So that will influence the asset value. All right. And it may be lower or higher than its market value. Okay, so it will be difference between one investors to another investors because of the opinions of them. Okay, the objective of their investments, it will be different. So next value is going concern value. So going concern value is a value of business as a whole. Okay. Okay, it's not only looking at the property, but it's looking for the business as a whole, where it involves valuation of a continuing business entity from which allocations of apportionments, and also can apply only to an asset that is constituent part of a business. Okay, so going concern value is more towards the value of business as a whole, okay, whereby the assets or the equipments, okay, is value, okay, because it will affect or contribute a positive impact to the business. So that's a going concern value. All right. Okay. For example, like a cinema. Okay, so the cinema, okay, will be will have a going concern value, whereby the assets or the cineplex itself or the things inside that is mean for the cinema. So for those that um, are looking the cinema not for cinema business, so it will not give a value for them. But for those who looking for the cinema for and plan to do that business, so they will look on the cineplex or the cinema buildings or properties is something that valuable. Okay, so next one is insurable value. So this is value, okay, for the asset provided by definitions contained in an insurance contract or policy. So insurable value is the value, okay, whereby it based on the um, contracts or policy, okay, the contents in the contract or policy. For example, it's like, okay, you have a property, then you insured the property with a fire insurance, okay, for example, like that. So it will just cover on fire insurance policies or contracts. Okay, so if you they will not covered for maybe because of a natural disaster. Okay, for example, it's like that. So the insurable value is only the to value of an asset that's specified according to the insurance contract or policy. Assessed rateable taxable value. Okay, so this value is based on definitions contained, okay, within applicable laws relating to the assessment, rating, or taxation of an asset. Okay, so assessed value, rateable value, taxable value, okay, is difference. Okay, it based and referring to the laws, okay, laws that applicable to that particular purpose. For example, is rating. Okay, so the rating itself, okay, controlled by, regulate by the um, laws, okay, whereby the value, okay, will need to refer to the x, okay. Okay, for example, it's like Johor and Malacca, they impose improved value, while other states impose annual value for rating calculations. So it based on that. So the value of that is based on the contains, okay, or guides by the laws. Okay. So next one is salvage value. So salvage value is a value of an asset excluding land, okay, as if disposed or for the materials it contains, okay, rather than for continued use without special repairs and adaptation. So salvage value ni is excluding land because of land. The rules of thumb of land, it is not depreciate, okay. Salvage value is more towards depreciation value, okay. So the buildings, okay, of course the buildings will have a depreciation rates, okay, but land, the rule of thumb is not depreciate, okay. So that the salvage value, we value for the asset, okay, for the condition of the asset itself. All right. Okay, whether it is good condition or it is um, well repaired, well maintained, or otherwise. Okay, so that's salvage value. Next one is special value. So special value, okay, it relates to an extraordinary element of value over and above market value. Is applicable only to a purchaser with a special interest. Okay. For examples of special value is a value that given to the special property, okay, because of the special property, it has an extraordinary elements of value. For example, it's like golf course, so it is specials, and it's special used for to play golf or for the golf facilities only. Okay, so that's, and that particular value, okay, will be applicable only to a purchaser with a special interest. Okay, so it could be more and it could be lower than market value. All right. So next is for sale value. So for sale value is the amount which may reasonably be received from the sale of an asset under for sale condition, okay, which do not meet all the criteria of a normal market transaction. So that is for sale value, okay, whereby, for example, like it's a property, okay, so it been through the process of forced sale conditions, okay. For example, like the owner of property, he want to use money urgently, and he need to sell his property urgently in order to get money. So in these situations, okay, the for sale value is exists, whereby the property is not being sell um, in the normal circumstances. Okay, it is forced to sell. Okay, so I think you're able to understand this. Okay, so normally the for sale value is lower than market value. That's a comment. Okay, and for sale value also applied for what we call it as I forgot what's the term. Okay, auction. Alright. For auction case, whereby the property are forced to sell, okay, in order for bank to get their money back because of the owner of the property or the purchaser unable to pay the the amount of loans that they um, borrowed from the bank by uh, mortgage the property or collateral the property. Okay, fair value. Okay, so value is the price that will be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer a liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. Okay, so this is fair value lah. All right, so that's very simple. That's a fair value. Okay, so next is synergistic or marriage value. All right, so this is the value, okay, towards an additional element of value created by the combination of two or more assets or interests where the combined value is more than the sum of separate value. Okay, so this is the value that will be given to the property, okay, the separated property that we combine it. Okay, so that particular the where we combine the property, so it will give a marriage value whereby the value is we could say it is valuable compared to when it is single. All right, when it is separated, okay, so the value is lower or low. Okay, when it is combined or joined together, so the value is more higher. So that's a marriage value. For example, like there's two adjacent land, okay, two adjacent small land. Okay, for example, two adjacent small land. Okay, so when it is separated, so maybe it cannot be developed well. Okay, we cannot optimize use the land. However, when the land we combine it or we buy both lands. Okay, we combine it, so maybe it can produce a very good, development scheme, for example. So, okay, and it is more valuable. Okay, so that's all for this session. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.